Did you put yourself inside the fence, Miss Giggles? Did you put yourself inside the fence? Oh, you did. Okay. Yeah. She actually goes through the fence right there. She squeezes herself through those little tiny squares. Yeah. You gonna say hi to all your friends? Okay. All right. Awesome. I'm gonna get back to working on your house. I got something I gotta do first. All right. See you in a bit. See, I knew that wouldn't last long. She's already out of the fence, eating her food. So, welcome back to the journey, folks. We're going to get back over to working on this thing, but as you see, I am dressed for the occasion. So, I actually went out last night and this morning just to be able to see what I had seen on our trail cams. So I do have some of that footage I'll try to throw in here. You can see, so yeah, we actually have a couple bucks and quite a few does going through the property. It's that season, right? We are actually in archery season still currently, and I know black powder is going to be coming up here really quickly. I do not own black powder, so I still have to utilize my archery equipment, and then also going into rifle season. So yes, we do hunt. I don't normally get like a full bag limit. We just get whatever we can eat ourselves, right? For here, basically me, Gladys, the kids, and yeah, so that is what it is. I know a lot of folks out there don't like to hunt, but we do, and we utilize as much of those animals as we can, along with, you know, like the chickens and all that other stuff, right? So dogs, right? So we utilize every single little bit that we can and try to waste as little as possible. So but anyway, before we get running on this, I need to go set up a blind because yeah, they've fooled me twice, so they keep popping up behind me, and I would like to be able to stay hidden from them. So let's go set up that blind, and then we'll get right back to working on this. Oh, and if you've missed out on the video where we reviewed this, go check it out. Pretty good. I'll leave the link in this video too, if you want to get one for yourself. So I think that'll work out okay. Now we gotta tie it all down. Hopefully I get these in. So this does actually come with stakes to stake down all these corners with the little loops. It does come with some string too to be able to tie down, so you can kind of loop into your little things here, tie it off to nearby trees, which I'll probably do. Which I just bent that one. There's a lot of rocks up here. Basically, this entire ridge line is just nothing but rocks. So, yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave this up here just for the hunting season. Basically, once we're done in January. So right now we're basically in November. So November, December, January. It'll be here for 3 months. We'll test it out, see how it does, and then at the end of the season, I'll pack it up. Okay, so I got it tied off here, got it tied off on the other side, tied off here. So basically 3 points. I got pins on all 4 corners, even though, yeah, a little difficult. I did not pin off this corner for this door, but we'll come in. I'm gonna have to go get a chair to be able to come in here, but I'll be able to look up the hill, and then obviously I have, you know, slide here that I'll be able to utilize looking up the hill, and I think it'll work great. All right, well, now let's get back to the A-frame build for Giggles. Okay, so here we are back down the hill over here at the A-frame. So just some of the things that we had covered in last video. And I see you trying to sneak up on me. Yes, I'm working on it. I'm getting there. Okay, was these gaps here. Well, I think instead of taking this out, basically just be able to fill this gap in, which I wanted to kind of cover this anyway. The only reason that this is here is it's obviously stronger than the stuff that I'm about to pull out and show y'all. But I do want to put another layer on the floor, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the layer on these, but bring it up as far as I can. All right, and I'll kind of fill in these gaps to the best of my ability with doing said. So yeah, let's go see what we're going to utilize. So this right here, we actually got this is the hardboard, so obviously, but it has the laminate on the top, make it nice and white. Is it going to stay like that? Probably not. Is she going to be able to scratch it and do stuff to it? Sure, but this will be replaceable, right? And that's one of the things I said I want to be able to put down on the bottom, right? So I don't have to worry about this having to replace that. So if we have to replace anything, we'll just replace that. That's much cheaper than plywood by a lot, okay? But I'm also going to try to utilize that for filling in gaps, because I also do a layer down here at the bottom. And then I still have that full sheet of plywood as well, because I mean, obviously I'm going to be utilizing that for the front door, for fascia, and for soffit. So, but I want to take care of the inside first, get the inside completely done, and then we will finish the outside, finish the roof. Okay, so I decided to actually do something different. I wanted to give it a try before showing y'all. So obviously I took off purlins on this side, took off that base on this side, because I did this. So I went ahead and cut one of the panels. Obviously I'm not going to have enough to do the floor. That's fine. I'm just going to seal this. We'll cover it with bedding. It'll be fine. So I went ahead and did one full panel. Obviously I had to notch around for this, right? Obviously it still broke some of the corners. It wasn't perfect, right? I had to notch around some of this over here. So what I can do, I may have, because she wants this thing to be like tight, airtight, but obviously it's not going to be perfect, because I can't go all the way right up, because it's just, there's not enough space. So obviously if I had to do this all over again, I would not have done this front wall how I did this. So lessons learned with this is I would have done just the regular A-frame. Okay, I would have closed off the inside wall, basically utilizing this whole structure, just closed the whole thing off, and then built my wall, you know, like a traditional, like actual framed wall, you know, for that, because this one over here is still, would have been fine, right? I could have still, once it was closed off, you know, I can still put another piece of wood in there like this. It just would have been shorter, because it would have had to sit, you know, over the plywood. So it wouldn't have mattered. I could still do the exact same thing of how I did it now, just sitting on the plywood instead. And then obviously it would have still been covered up by all of this on the outside. The only thing that would have changed is how this front wall attached, right? So obviously doing a traditional more style of wall, it would have taken up some of that space here, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a whole lot, right? So 1.5 inches. So I would have done that different, and then I could have attached all of this, you know, to, and then you're basically also covering your soffit at the same time by covering the entire inside, covering your soffit, covering everything. and then coming back and doing a wall. So yeah, lessons learned. I would have done that, because I mean, I'd already had these 2x6s were already screwed together in an L form. So, and I was kind of utilizing that as the deep bed method for this. That's the only reason why I kind of did it this way. But like I said, I could have done the other wall and just attached it directly to that frame, or even cut a portion of that wall out to be able to have it, you know, just, yeah, a whole lot of what ifs. But anyway, doing it this way, or I mean, obviously if you're not insulating, you're not doing all that stuff, then all this really doesn't matter. You don't need to have, you just put the roof on it and go, and it's just all the framing. But she wants it insulated, so that's why I'm having to go above and beyond of what I think it truly needed. But yeah, that's what I did. So let me knock out this other side, and then we'll bring it back. Okay, that side's done. And then you probably also see I went ahead and put some blocks down here. So I need to put obviously something here, that way whenever I go to put insulation in, it doesn't just fall out the bottom. I'm not too worried about it being, you know, fully sealed whatsoever, because I do want, you know, airflow to be able to go up. So obviously I'm reutilizing metal, right? This is a temporary solution because we do have other plans for this roof, but I'm not going to say exactly what that is yet. It's not going to be metal, I will say that, but we do need to get the resources for what we plan to do. It's going up, right? This is kind of open up here in the top. It still allows all this to kind of vent up into the top. And then I do have ridge vent per se. Is actually stuff that we got from the chicken coops. It was the same metal that was actually used. So all the laying boxes that we got, that Dad got, Mom and Dad, that was kind of like in between. So you had laying boxes that faced this way, faced that way, and then you had this metal that was in between them, and then it had like a belt, right? So basically all the eggs would roll onto that conveyor system, and then the conveyor system would take it to the catch wherever it goes, right? So that was all part of that system. So I'm using that as ridge vent. But I'm gonna go ahead and get all these little spacers put in here, basically just the 4 spots. Then we'll bring out the insulation, put the insulation in, and then I may or may not go to the store to kind of like fill in these little gaps here, this little gap here. I'll have to get some of the can spray stuff before I put the roof on, but I'm probably going to be starting from the back towards the front. That way, whenever it overlaps, because the front of the building is facing this direction, right? So most of our winds, right, the prevailing winds comes out of the southwest, correct? Right? So most of your winds come from that direction, or comes down from the northeast, right, which is that direction coming this way. Sometimes the northwest. So, but anyway, I want, because a lot of times if we're having like real bad storms, you know, most of them are coming from that direction, coming this way. So I want the overlap, basically, you know, it's where, yeah, the rain would be hitting it that direction, and it would not want to go underneath the roof. But I'm still going to overlap it, you know, by at least the 2 inches that it requires. I might even do a little more, because like I said, that is not the permanent roof that we plan to use. All right, so yeah, getting there. We're getting there. Nothing special, just holding in the insulation. I don't even need more than that, but that'll be be all right. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. All right. I need to cut some more. Might be able to use that one, maybe. But it's also going to be hitting that. That's never good. Where'd my pencil go? Ish. We can notch that puppy out. It'll be all right. That I have a piece of scrap. Do I have a piece of scrap? Oh, there it is. That sucker, at least that wide. Need to notch that out. Don't judge me, I'm not using hearing protection today. They're charging. Beautimous. Do the other side. Oh, insulation time. I guess you guys would like to watch, huh? That's the whole point of making videos, isn't it? The folks can see what you're doing. Now obviously these are the 16-inch on center bats. This is 24 inches. So, but still, and I already got a spider. Man, just can never get rid of those stupid things. You still wear, you know, the protective clothing when you're dealing with this stuff. But the rock wool insulation is nowhere near itchy as the fiberglass. So. One fully insulated. Now I just got to throw up some roof panels. Well, time was actually getting away from me, so we're going to catch this back up in the morning. Sorry to our members, you didn't get a chance to watch this one early, but yeah, Dad's got to get meat on the table. So see you in the morning. All right, top of the morning to you. So yeah, didn't get nothing last night, so that's fine. We'll still got plenty of time left in the season, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump back into this. Gonna start cutting up some metal. Got my Mickey Mouse ears. If you guys haven't checked that out, definitely get over to that other video. Go check out that link. They're great. So anyway, I'm just gonna throw you to a quick time lapse. Let's get some metal cut up. Let's get some metal put up on the roof, and yeah, maybe we can get done with this thing today. yeah, before I throw you into a quick time lapse, I ended up getting some of these roofing screws from Dad before he took off. And yeah, I was going to utilize these, but these actually have a bigger head size. I've spent at least 20 minutes now looking for the bit for this to be able to put into the drill to be able to put these roofing panels on. I don't have one. I don't know. I used to have all these things, but I guess I'm gonna have to go to the store. But like I said, right now Gladys is at her appointment, and yes, me and the kiddo are here. Other kiddos in school, so to go to the store, obviously I have to take her. That's not a problem, but I still have other work that I can get done on this up to the point of being able to put the roof panels in, and maybe by that time Gladys might be home. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch back over to doing stuff that I can. I will go ahead and cut all these panels. I can cut them all to 6 feet, and then yeah, we're just gonna go with that. I just won't be able to put them on yet until I go to the store. It's always something. It's always something. Okay, so that's all of the metal cut. I got the insulation put in onto the other side. So that's basically ready for the metal just to go on. But like I said, I have to get to the store to do that. So what I can do instead is go ahead and start working on my soffit up here in the front, getting all that covered in, and then also working on the front door. And then I'm also going to be utilizing some of that 1x3 that I have left over just for like trim work. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. And then basically, I think the very last thing, which normally you want to do your roof first, but I'm doing it dead last. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and knock out the soffit, knock out the trim, and then we'll get up to the store. It's getting warm, so time to ditch the jacket. And then we'll get this thing finished up today. How about it? Things keep getting stepped on, getting kicked around. Can't have nice things, Anson. Can't have nice things. Go with the 57. What's this one? 57. Man. Both measurements are the same. I guess I'm doing something right. All right, so actually, let me grab y'all so you can see what I'm having to do here. Oh, come here, y'all. Okay, so yeah, down here. So obviously, I measured this out, but this board sits over the top of this base board here, and I need it to be able to be notched around this because I want it to go all the way down here to the very bottom, right? So yeah. I'm not going to be closing off the bottom with any type of fascia. That's just going to be open. And because it's going to allow for, you know, I mean, yeah, sure, we could always close it off later or whatnot and put vents or whatever to allow airflow to come up and stuff like that, and it'll keep things out. But yeah, not for right now. So anyway, I mean, inside is looking nice, y'all. Look at that. It's all open. I still gotta kind of clean that side. Yeah, but I think it turned out okay. So let me notch out for this board down here, and then yeah, I need to measure to see like how far. I don't know, maybe I can set y'all here. You might be able to see. Yeah, at least 5. Yeah, 5 inches, give or take. So it needs to be at least 3/4 of an inch. So I think this is as good as any spot. 3/4 of an inch, and then I want to come up 5. Good enough for government work. All right, let me go get the saw so I can cut that out. Well, I thought the camera was rolling, but I guess I didn't hit the button good enough. Yeah, so that actually nestled up in there pretty nice. I don't even have any screws in it. It's just being held up by that little notch there, and then it comes in here, and I actually had to hit it in with the hammer to get it to sit in there. So sweet. All right, so that's both sides done. So now I'm going to put the face on, and then utilize some of that 1x3 for a trim going around, and then this side basically will be done minus the door. But as you see, I'm slowly running out of stuff. So by the time I cut this big one down for the fascia, I'm not going to be left with a whole lot. So I'm probably going to have to utilize 2 of these cutoffs for a door, which is going to leave me a seam here, another seam here in the middle, and then a seam here, which is fine. Because then I still need wood back here as well to be able to cover this little point up here, and then also to be able to cover like the little areas, because the door basically just stops at here, right? So for this section right here down, it's not covered with anything. So I'm going to need little pieces of plywood for that as well, which that one there on the ground would probably be sufficient for that. Yeah, pretty cool. And then that will just stay there, and it'll kind of act as, you know, a buffer left and right, you know, so that way the door wouldn't want to shift left or right. I mean, it shouldn't, but yeah, it's coming along. I still got to trim those down, because they'll be trimmed basically to this length here. And then I'm going to utilize that drip edge on the back side, you know, to kind of help with, you know, stopping water from wanting to go in, because it doesn't have nowhere near as much as an overhang as this side, right? This side has basically a 10-inch overhang. So all right, coming along. Where did I do this? All right, so I need to know, it should be a 2-inch, but nope. Inch, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inch and 5/8. So I want to put up a fence per se. If I can try to cut this one a little straighter to have a nice straight edge. So I need to add 1 5/8. Inch 5/8. Oh, we gotta find another clamp. And I used to have a whole ton of clamps. And yeah, that's what happens when you move around in the Navy. You get rid of a bunch of stuff, or you lose a bunch of stuff. Alright, so if you're not good at taking measurements or whatever, which this isn't a sponsor, nothing, it's an angle finder. So there are no measurements or anything on this. Basically, you just come up to the edge of where you're going to be, set the angle you want it to be set to, tighten that down, now you take it over to your piece of wood. I have a mark, I think it was that mark, 71 3/4. Right? Yep. So that's my mark here. But then my outside edge, right, I already know coming up to the top, it's going to be there. Make your angle. And if you don't trust in that and you want to check it, right, you can always get like a piece of little scrap like this, cut one, which, I mean, I do trust in it that it's going to be just fine, right? But ooh, that bleeding. So I can't have nice things, Anson. So, I mean, I do trust in it. But it's always good to double check, right? And then you come up, put it up there, and then boom, looks nice. Plus, I mean, these has like rounded over edges, so it's not going to be like a perfect fit regardless. It's not what this stuff is meant for. So there we go. Basically left me a nice pretty gap up there at the top, and I got, you know, a couple different options, stuff that I can do. And then obviously if I also want all these screw holes to be covered up, I did buy some filler, right? I got obviously different, I have some flashing type filler, I have some different wood type filler, plastic wood, different stuff, which I do plan on probably sinking down all of these screws to kind of get it filled in, because Gladys does want to come paint this, and it'd be nice to have it nice and smooth out. But then also kind of going through, you know, all like the little gaps like this and just seal it in, right? Stuff like this, right? Just seal it in. Just try to make it look nice, and that's all. And then kind of same thing, since I'm going to have a seam here, and then another seam here. Close it in, make it look nice. But that's the back door in. I still got ventilation up here at the top, right? We are going to put like a fan back there on that side, possibly a vent up here on this side, or vice versa. We don't have those just yet. That will have to come in the future, but this is going to have plenty enough ventilation for right now, coming into fall / winter. All right. So as of right now, I do have the tools I need to get the metal on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Also need to get these boards trimmed up and basically getting it looking like this, but back there. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so I got that other trim piece on, trimmed off all the excess for the roof purlins. So that's looking fancy. Really nasty. Come on. Butter. Butters. Get over it. So down here, can you all see that? So down here on the bottoms, kind of what I was talking about earlier, was I want to be able to cut out a piece to go here. And I'm thinking, I got this one down here. And have dirt and grime and all kinds of stuff, but I should be able to get something out of that. So let me go get my handy dandy angle finder. Makes this process a little easier. Good right there. Because I think that, will that fit? No, I'm gonna have to trim it down. So I need to see basically what's my distance between this purlin and that piece of wood. That way this can continue to go straight up and down, and then I'm just gonna cut an angle off of it and try to kind of keep it, I don't know, do I want to keep it in line with the door, or do I want to keep it in line with the roof? I guess I guess it's a little different because the front, you know, has the overhang, so it's not the same. But I think back here would look better, maybe keeping it at the angle of the roof. So I'd have to do a second cut as well. I'm expecting a delivery, and it sounds like it just might be getting here. So that's a 5 5/8. That one's 6 1/2. 6 1/2. 5. Awesome. Right. Yep, that was Mr. FedEx with a package. Something very exciting coming very, very soon. So that's going to be a video all on itself. So definitely hit that subscribe and make sure you're coming back. Turn on all your notifications because you're not going to want to miss that one. I know it's kind of late in the season. I'll give you that clue. But anyway, let's get back to this one. So I got my measurements here. So I need to go get that cut to width. And then I need that to be at least an 18. So this one was the 6th, right? Let's go 6 3/8. 6 3/8 by 18. And this one should be about the same. 17 1/2. So yeah, not the same. Alright, let me go cut those and we'll bring her right back. Alright, well, let me put the hinges on because I want to make sure that this door is good to go before finalizing where I actually want to put the roof, because I might have to trim some of this door down. So let me get some hinges on here. And we opted for some strap hinges. I'm hoping that once we get this done, that she'll want to just come in here to lay instead, so I can clear. Well, I'm clearing out that area over there regardless of where she's been laying. Look at there, it opens all the way. I do like that, so I know Gladys is gonna like that too. But I am gonna have to trim. I mean, you can slam it closed, which over time it would just wear itself down. It'll be a nice firm fit. I like that. And then I do like that. And I have a hasp. So, I mean, if I put it only on one side, that would leave the other side vulnerable to be, you know, open. Or if I get the bolt style, where I can just drill a hole here and just have it bolt in right here in the center, or just put 2 hasps on either side. Oh, we'll figure the locking arrangement later, I guess. Okay, this side is done, and then these are these pieces of metal that I'm going to use as the ridge cap. So this is what it actually looks like. Okay, and then, which I think y'all are a little crooked, let me straighten you out. There you go. So this is what it actually looks like. This is what I want it to look like. So basically all I did was kind of come down towards the ground. See if we can readjust y'all. Kind of squeeze it together, and then most of these already have kind of holes in them for mounting, so just throw it up there and mount it away, which I'd already put in because I'm gonna have to buy more, but this is how the back is going to look. So that's a nice finished look. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut that and be able to kind of bend that over. And then I'll go ahead and, I don't have enough to go all the way down, but I might have some sitting over there. I'm gonna have to go look. But yeah, I only bought one of those because I wanted to see how it looked. But the door does hit, so obviously right here in the corners, I'm going to have to take the door off. I'm going to have to trim that. It's not a lot. I mean, it's like 1/8 of an inch, right? So I'm not too worried about, you know, weather or anything getting in there. But I think that gives it a nice finished look on this side. Not necessarily the wood look that's on the front, right? Because we have the nice trimmed out wood up here in the front. But then, you know, we'll fill in gaps, fill in stuff, and get it all painted, and it'll look pretty nice, I think. And then, obviously, I still got to finish the door, but I'm running out of time, y'all. I'm running out of time, so I'm trying to get it done before we leave. But I don't think I'm going to get it done. So that's just another day later. So you're probably watching this on Saturday instead of today. Well, you're definitely going to be not watching it because today, as I'm recording it, it's Friday. So, yeah, I don't know. I might just have to wait and just upload this one for Monday, I guess. And sorry, we didn't have a video come out for today. So, I probably posted something on the community page talking about it. So, if you follow the community pages, definitely get over there, leave us a comment. It's greatly appreciated. But it's coming along. It's coming along. All right, good morning. So yeah, back here for trying to get this thing finished up today. So now, as I'm recording, we've already fell back in time, right? Yeah, good old stuff. But I actually have a few changes, a few things I want to do to this. I'll get you flipped around. So obviously this didn't go all the way, and I actually wanted to change some stuff up just a little bit with this anyway. Plus that one, Kiddo actually stepped on it on accident when it was laying out here, and then I had also stepped on it by accident, so it got damaged, and it wasn't like perfectly lined up anyway, and then trying to get stuff to fold, and yeah, anyway. With that being said, what I'm gonna do is I want to take, so we went and got some new stuff that I want to use back here in the back, and then we went ahead and got some more trim. And, oh look, I found my tool that was missing. And then went ahead and got some more trim too for the front. And then since I didn't really have a big enough set of material for the door itself, because the door, right, 18, pretty much an 18 by 18, I went ahead and picked up another small sheet, just a little 24 by 24, so I can make an actual door. All right. And then, yeah, so I'm going to utilize this to finish closing off this area here. And then once that's done, we'll go ahead and get the door in. And I still don't have a set of forks for the tractor, so moving this is going to be fun. So I have two different ideas of what I can possibly do, and we'll try it out, because I brought more pieces of metal over here, right, that I can always use, put underneath the feet, and just use this as like to skid stuff. And then I also have this metal here, because I have the debris forks, right? It has like the 5 tines on it. It's for moving debris, moving logs, moving, different stuff like that, which I can always attach these here to those with just ratchet straps. Tie it down really, really well with some ratchet straps, and see if I can utilize that to pick this thing up. I don't know. We'll give it a shot and see if that does. If I can't do it that way, then we're just gonna have to slide it, because it's going to be going right. So don't have to slide it far. Basically, just right around this tree and pretty close to where the table's sitting. And don't mind the boxes sitting on the table. That's gonna be coming very, very, very soon. So yeah, a little sneak peek, I guess. So anyway, no time like the present. Let's get this thing finished today. Okay, so I went ahead and changed out that trim, and it looks okay. It does leave, because obviously that did not go all the way up to the top. I know it's kind of hard to see because we're in shadow, but I think I'll go ahead and put like some type of little filler up here at the top. But then obviously putting the trim here, the door needs to be trimmed up here in the corners, because if you try to open it right, it's just going to hit. So I went ahead and marked those out. Get this taken off. Out the way. Should just be able to slide this out the bottom. That's it. We'll go cut those off and then put it back on. Hopefully it works. Alright, last couple of screws. Got another one in my pocket. There it is. Alright. And it's going to rub a little bit right there, it looks like. I think if I bend that in, so maybe. It is what it is. It's a nice snug fit, for certain. like I said, this is the back. It only gets opened up whenever we need to clean it. So, all right, I think that'll work. I need to put a latch on this side, a latch on that side. This side is 100% done. Well, minus my mistake up here at the top. There goes the guineas. Miss Giggles over there in her pool. All right, so got the trim up on this side. I think it actually does that some justice. And then I went ahead and put in the one side of this here. So actually that turned out to be okay. And then I'll put in another one. And basically it just slides in because it has to go behind this. There's like a gap back here. Basically you can see I have a gap. It comes up until it touches my top beam. So I already have that one laid out as well. So let's go ahead and get this one cut. And then we'll put it in as well. Cut it out. Now also I don't want it to just be this plain Jane flat door. I do want to have some type of trim going in here, maybe, you know, even like a little Z or possibly an X trimmed out, right? But to be able to do that, we're utilizing strap hinges, and we want the door to be able to hinge from the top. It actually hinges up. So I'm going and looking, and I don't see my other hinges. Where are they at? So I have a hasp. Hey. Another hasp. Those two go into the back door. Then we have a handle to be able to lift this door. Now where do my hinges go? In here maybe? Nope, got some vents. Another hasp for this door. Another carabiner for this door. But I'm missing my hinges. Well, I guess I gotta go back to the store then. Man, it's always something, I tell you. So herein lies the problem. Small town country USA. It's Sunday now, and all of our stores are closed. Our grocery store is open, but basically all the hardware stores, any of the other stuff like that, closed. And obviously where I got all this stuff was a big box store that's in the big city, right? That's an hour away. So hour there, hour back, 2 hours worth of driving to go get hinges. Yeah, I'm not going to do that today. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get this to be as much done as possible, but I still want to be able to get this video out to y'all. So if you're already here watching at this point in time, then just know I'm going to do this to the best of my ability, get the door kind of in place, get the ramp in place. We're going to go set this in place of where it needs to be. And then, yeah, I will bring you back to kind of show you the final deal with this. But yeah, I don't know. Piss poor planning on my part, I guess, that I didn't get the things I needed. So got some vents, got hasps, got all this stuff to do everything I needed. I still have wood to be able to build a ramp. I'm not going to do that until it's actually sitting on place. That way I know exactly where it needs to go. But yeah, well, we thank y'all for following in on our journey thus far, helping us grow, sharing this out. Man, I was really wanting to get this thing 100% done today for y'all, and it turns out it's not going to happen. So yeah, but we also still have to buy the paint. We haven't done that yet either. So I'm gonna go through, get everything done, and then obviously whenever we're bringing y'all back for the update of getting everything set in, we also got to buy the bedding for everything inside, and then I guess you'll be able to see it completed then. But hey, roof is in, all the panels are done, all the soffit is done, all the fascia is done, all the trim is done, all that stuff is finished with the exception of the door, because I didn't buy enough hinges. Hey, happens to the best of us, right? Anyway, we definitely thank you all for following in on our journey. If you'd like to stick around a little bit longer on this journey we call life, go ahead and check out this video we have right here, or the whole year's playlist is over on this side. It does continue to grow as the year progresses. Icons up here at the top make it easy to subscribe both here and to our side channel. Go check that out. It's greatly appreciated. And then last but not least, always get out there, thank a veteran every chance you get, not only on Veterans Day, and we'll see you on the next one. Later, friends. Man, I can't forget.